Hello, everybody, and welcome to Profiling Evil Reacts and this segment that we're doing on Tristan Bailey's homicide by alleged killer Aiden Fucci. Not only do I find myself uttering the words that this behavior really frightens me, but I'm doing it now with some of what I've observed recently in videos that the prosecution has made available. Videos leading up to and shortly after Tristan's murder. When prosecutors and sheriff's investigators released the most recent video evidence in the murder case against Aiden Fucci, I wondered, what could this possibly show that we haven't already seen or envisioned in our minds? Well, my curiosity compelled me to dive right in and see what everybody was talking about. I first watched the video taken by a home security system showing Fucci and Bailey as they're walking along the sidewalk, headed presumably toward the wooded area where her badly injured body would later be found. It was only 16 minutes after midnight by this video. That's Mother's Day. They looked like two friends, not like a boyfriend and girlfriend to me. Tristan was closest to the street, but the point is that they weren't holding hands or doing anything that suggests they had a more intimate relationship. Fucci and Bailey appeared to be strolling, not like they were en route to a gathering or a destination with some kind of purpose. They were just hanging out. Well, like you, I found myself worrying about the late hour of night. Should a 13 and 14-year-old be out wandering at that time of night? Fucci's clothing, particularly the hoodie and the bright shoes, stood out to me. Now note that the time is 15 minutes after midnight on this video. This, I think, is an error on the footage because the arrest affidavit for Fucci states that this actually occurred around 1:45 in the morning, a difference of an hour and a half. The next camera footage we see shows Fucci sprinting past the same cameras, and the time is now 1:52 a.m., suggesting that an hour and a half had passed. Again, note that the arrest affidavit shows this actually happened at about 3:27 a.m. This makes me think that maybe the homeowner's camera settings for the date and time were off, or I've just miscalculated. In this video, though, Fucci has his shoes off, and it caused me to wonder if that's normal behavior for him or an attempt to conceal evidence. What's clear is that he's moving with much more purpose than what we previously saw, sprinting. Now, if the time was incorrect on the camera footage that we just watched, it would appear from Fucci's statement and his home video system and the arrest warrant that his arrival at home was at 3:31 a.m., and that's probably accurate. He's seen in this video clip at his home approaching the front of the house and the front door. In considering the time it would take to get from the woods where Bailey was murdered to his home, just walking a normal pace would take about 8 minutes. It's almost a half a mile away. The video of him running supports that the camera footage we watched was somewhere between the wooded area and his home, and he was racing to get home. Well, shortly after noon on that same day, which again is Mother's Day, Fucci is taken by police as part of their investigation into Tristan's disappearance. According to police records and media accounts, as soon as they leave the home, Fucci's mother, Crystal Smith, runs upstairs and retrieves Fucci's clothes. It appears that a sibling enters the room at the same time that she's gathering the clothes, and hopefully there's been an interrogation there or an interview of sorts to see what that person shares about what was going on there. There are also a number of other witnesses, including a toddler in the home, and they would undoubtedly be able to provide valuable insight into what was going on. There is a lot of frantic activity in this area behind the closed door, and it's an area that I believe is a laundry by looking at some of the things that we've been able to find online. We can see then that Smith emerges with what appears to be the same pair of jeans, showing them to one of the witnesses. She appears to be talking with someone on the phone as the other witness comes over and starts to examine the jeans more closely. It's obvious that they're very interested in the jeans. Smith then sits down on the steps and continues her conversation with the other witness while also examining the phone in her hand. Then something really interesting happens. Watch closely. The witness walks by and notices the security camera in the home and alerts or reminds Smith, who quickly gets up and walks back into the laundry. While all of this is happening inside Fucci's home, he's sitting in the back of a sheriff's deputy squad car, filming himself, talking tough, and making pictures for Snapchat. Listen as Fucci speaks directly about Tristan, and he catches himself.
We're having fun in a fucking cop car.
Yep. Tristan.
What's up, guys?
Yep.
Tristan, if you fucking walk out the damn...
When you see this in a month.
The question I have is, what do you think he's saying or about to say? Reports state that he's saying, we're having fun in a effing cop car. Tristan, if you effing walk out of damn, and then he catches himself and stops. Well, Tristan, his 13-year-old classmate's body was found nearby with more than 114 stab wounds. 35 of those injuries were in her head and neck, and she also had 49 defensive injuries. She fought. Fucci has been charged with homicide, and his mother's been charged with tampering with evidence. Now, Fucci has pleaded not guilty to murder, and he remains jailed without bail. Smith was released after posting a bond. Mother and son are scheduled to be back in court on September 1st, and I'm going to be watching for your comments on this update, knowing that it actually could coincide with news of what's happening in those hearings. I'll be looking down below for those. So here's my question for you. If Crystal Smith pleads guilty to destroying or altering evidence, now think about it, evidence that links her son to Tristan Bailey's murder, will she be making matters worse for her son and for his ability to defend? What would you do if you were in her shoes tomorrow? Well, thanks for listening, and please hit the like and the subscribe button, ring the bell, and we'll see you soon at the next crime scene.